Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ali Azhar. I am studying in Thal Public School and Inter College 22 MB Khushab. Sir, I have a question. Can you please explain how time is considered as a fourth dimension? Thank you.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Thank you, Ali Azhar. You have asked a fantastic question, but at the same time, a very tricky one. Why time is considered as the fourth dimension? It means that you have an idea of other three dimensions, which are length, width, and breadth. But you do not have any idea of the fourth dimension, which is time. So let's first understand the other three dimensions. Then we'll be able to have the idea of the fourth dimension. Look at this box. This is length, this is width, and this is height. So these are three dimensions. Now these three dimensions show the space occupied by this box, the place or space occupied by this box. If you multiply length with width and with height, you will get the volume or the space which is occupied by this box. So these three dimensions tell you about space. You can find out space with the help of these three dimensions. Now, the time is the fourth dimension. Why this confusion? Because you can see these three dimensions, but you can't see the time dimension. That is basically the difficult part. Now, to understand the time dimension, you will have to stop thinking about the space or place and start thinking about the address. Stop thinking about the place and start thinking about an address. Imagine you want a gift delivered to your friend. You call a delivery boy, a delivery person, or a delivery driver, whatever you call him, and hand over the gift to him. What information will you give to the delivery boy? Well, you will tell him the number of the house number, street number, and the name of the city where this gift is to be delivered. So you will give the delivery boy three dimensions: house number, street number, and the name of the city. Now, that delivery boy goes to the location and is able to find out the exact location which you have told based on the information you gave him. Okay? Now, wait a minute. Is it enough? What if your friend is not home? What if it is weekend and your friend has gone to her grandparents to visit her grandparents? They are not home. Delivery fails. The delivery man cannot deliver your gift because you did not give him the full information. You give him three pieces of information: house number, street number, and the name of the city where he went. You just told him where he went there, but you did not tell him when. You should have told him that your friend was available from Monday through Friday. She will not be available on Saturday and Sunday. So this information about when, about the time, day of the week, or the time of the day, you did not give him. So you gave him one information: where. but you did not give him the other information when. That other information is when, I mean the time, that is the fourth dimension. You should have given him that fourth dimension also. You gave him three dimensions and did not give him the fourth dimension when. So, where and when, these two things are very important. Anything which is happening in space, you cannot imagine it without four dimensions, without knowing four dimensions: length, width, height, and time. The problem is again the same, that you cannot visualize the time because you cannot see the time. That is the difficulty. Now, what problem with us is in understanding this time dimension, that we think of when and where separately. We think of space, where shows the space, where has three dimensions: length, width, and height. So that shows the space. And when shows the time. So we in our everyday life consider these dimensions, where and when, as separate. We think about them as separate. Whereas Einstein said, no, they are not separate. If anything is happening in space, it is happening in four dimensions. It is not happening only in three dimensions. It is happening in time also. So he combined when and where together, and he called it space-time fabric, a unified medium of when and where. Now, to make it more clear, this, for example, this room, it has all the three dimensions. This is the width of the room, this is the length of the room, and this is the height of the room. If I say the width is 12 feet, the length is 20 feet, and the height is 14 feet, I'll multiply all these three dimensions to find out the space of this room. What is the space of this room? With these three dimensions, I can find out the space of this room. Okay? Now, I can walk along the length, width, and height. It's very simple. If that length is x-axis and this width is y-axis and this height is x-axis, I can, on that x-axis, I can go right, I can go left, I can even stop while walking. So I can move from one edge and keep going to the other edge. I can turn backward and keep moving to the opposite side, and then I can also stop. Similarly, I can walk on the y-axis also, that is the width. I can go backward and forward and I can stop. Similarly, if I may put a ladder here, and I can climb upwards and I can come down also similarly on the ladder, and I can stop somewhere in between also. So that is possible. So I have freedom as far as these three dimensions are concerned. I have the freedom of walking forward, backward, or even stopping in between. But in case of time, I do not have this liberty. In case of time, I cannot go back. I am constantly moving forward. I cannot stop. I am moving through time. I cannot go back. If today is Wednesday, I cannot go back to Tuesday. If now it is 9:30, I cannot go back to 9. And I cannot stop. Can time stop? No. So these three dimensions, length, width, and height, walking on these three axes, x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis, I have freedom of moving forward, backward, and stopping. But on moving time axis, so time axis is also a line. You are not a static point in the universe. You are a line stretching from past to the future. So that is also a line, but you can't see it. The problem is why you are not able to visualize that you can't see this line. The other three lines you can see. But this line which stretching from past to future is not visible to you. So there are four dimensions. One dimension is not visible. That is the time dimension. Whereas you are also walking on that dimension. When you are moving through space, you are also moving through time. When you are moving through three dimensions, when you are moving in space, what is space? Space is three dimensions. It means you are moving in three directions, in three dimensions. And at the same time, you are also moving on time axis also, because you are moving through time from past to future. Now, the next thing which I wanted to tell you is that the you can vary the lengths of these three axes. Like x-axis can be longer or shorter, y-axis can also be longer or shorter, and z-axis can also be shorter or taller. But what about time axis? Can it be shorter or longer like all these three axes, all these three dimensions? Yes. For, for human beings, it is on an average 75, 80 years. We are passing through time. It is 70 years or 80 years. But for Himalayas, for old mountains, they have been passing through time for millions of years. So you can also change the length of the time as the length of the other three dimensions is changed. Now understand it in a different way. In old times, not very old times, about say 20, 25 years back or 20 years back, we used to see films, movies on a device called VCR. There used to be a cassette, और उस कैसेट में एक रील होती थी, RWL रील. वो रील उस VCR के अंदर चलती थी और हम फिल्म देखते थे. 3 घंटे की फिल्म होती थी. अब imagine that reel, that reel has length. उसकी एक लेंथ है ना, उसको अगर आप उस कैसेट से निकाल के खींच, it has a width and it has a thickness, it has a height. So that reel has three dimensions which you can see with your eyes. But that reel runs for 3 hours, fourth dimension, which you can't see. So the time of the film is the fourth dimension, which you cannot see with your eyes, but time is there. You spent 3 hours. Now, you can rewind the film. You can rewind that reel. आप उस रील को रिवाइंड कर सकते हैं, पीछे ले जा सकते हैं, बैकवर्ड. कि आपको एक सीन बहुत अच्छा लगा, आपने कहा कि इसको जरा रिवाइंड करें जी, बैक ले जाएं, पीछे से दोबारा मैं देखना चाहता हूं. आप उसको रिवाइंड कर सकते हैं. बट वो जो टाइम गुजर गया, जितनी आपने वो मूवी देख ली, उसके बाद क्या टाइम पीछे चला गया? रील तो पीछे चली गई, मगर टाइम तो आगे ही जाता रहा. यानी 1 घंटा अगर आपने मूवी देखी थी और 2 मिनट के लिए या 1 मिनट के लिए उसको रिवाइंड किया, तो 1 घंटा 1 मिनट हो गया ना. तो टाइम तो रिवाइंड नहीं हुआ, टाइम तो 1 घंटा 1 मिनट यानी फॉरवर्ड आगे चला गया. तो आप टाइम लाइन में हमेशा यू मूव फॉरवर्ड, आप बैकवर्ड नहीं जा सकते. और टाइम रुका भी नहीं. जब रिवाइंड हो रही थी रील तो टाइम रुका नहीं, टाइम नहीं रुका, तो टाइम आगे जाता रहा. तो टाइम ऑलवेज मूव्स फॉरवर्ड, नॉट बैकवर्ड. नाउ understand it in from a different perspective, from different point of view. Einstein said, he gave this idea of space-time fabric or space-time curvature. Now, I have told you that he said space and time cannot be separated. They are just one thing. They are a unified medium. There are 4 directions and they are unified. He said that space is woven into time, or time is woven into space. So where is woven into when? So and he called it space-time fabric or space-time curvature. Now imagine space-time fabric is a stretched out large bed sheet. Okay, it's a large bed sheet stretched out, and there are 4 persons who are holding it from its corners and stretching it. And you roll a very small marble from one edge of the bed sheet to the other edge. You roll the marble, small marble. So it will go straight. If you roll it from this side, it will go to this side. If you roll it from this edge towards this edge, it will go again straight. And if you roll it from that corner to that corner, it will go again straight. So that marble will go straight. But what if you place a heavy ball of iron or a heavy round stone in that bed sheet? What will happen? That bed sheet will sag. It will dent. A dip will be created. A curve will be formed. A curve will be formed. Right? Now imagine that stone which you have placed in this bed sheet is space-time fabric. It's all entire space. And you have placed sun in that fabric, space-time fabric. And sun is heavier. So sun has created that dip, that curve. Now roll the marble. Now if you roll the marble, will it go straight? It will start rolling around the curve and around that heavy ball which is sun. Imagine the marble is earth. Now the earth is rolling around the sun because of that curve. That is where Einstein differed with Newton. He said, no, sun is not pulling earth due to gravity. There's no gravity. It is that curvature, it is that dip, it is that curve which the earth follows around the sun. The earth follows that curve. The earth tries to go straightest possible it can, but the path it follows is itself curved. The space is itself curved. It is not straight. That's why the earth is moving around the sun in that curve. Now you will ask a question, where does the time come in here? Time का यहाँ पे क्या ताल्लुक है? Remember, I told you that you are not moving in three directions. You're not moving only in space. You are moving through time also. You are a line stretching from past to future. When that space is curved, when that space is bent by the weight of the sun, it is not only the space, it is the time also, because time is also a line from past to future, like the three lines of space: width, length, and height. If these are three lines, time is also a line. If these three lines are bending, I mean, when space is bending, means these three lines are bending. If the space is bending, that fourth line is also bending. The time is also bending. So therefore, this leads to the effects like the time moves slower on Earth than in deep space, slightly slower on Earth than in deep space. It is a bit tricky concept, but I have tried to explain it in very simple words. It's very simple that your path has four dimensions. When the space is bent, it is not only the space which is bent, it is your timeline also, because your path has four components. The path component, the time component of your path is also bent with the other three dimensions. So that is how Einstein has explained the time as the fourth dimension. I hope I have explained this concept to your satisfaction, but if still there is any further confusion, you can come back and ask me again. I will explain it. Thank you very much, and Allah Hafiz.